Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
the podcast. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to the November 4th through 8th General Hospital recap. Did not slip up.
Good job
on saying that.
That's right. I'm so proud of you.
Yes. So for those who are new to our show, each week we do a weekly recap on Mondays, and then on Thursdays we have what's called the Port Charles 411, where we talk about different topics or characters or storylines or something like that. So
anything just different, exciting.
Yep. Welcome. And the reason that I just did that is because last week we shared that we finally hit 5,000 hit.
Woohoo!
We're almost at 6,000.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you guys so much. I mean,
awesome.
It was all week I've been watching it and I'm just like, seriously? What's happening right now?
Yay.
So thank you guys so much for sharing and listening and sharing with your friends. All right, let's get into what happened. Oh, I did have one quick, I don't know if I should say it's like a love note or what, but you know how last week we discussed at what age are they still considered a boyfriend or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And B-Dub said on Twitter, it's still a boyfriend unless you are pretentious and are all my significant other.
Oh, okay.
So I liked that.
I do like that.
Because, yeah, you can still have a boyfriend. So,
okay.
Good news. You can still have a boyfriend.
I guess that's good news. I still don't like the term boyfriend, though.
Then you can be pretentious and say my significant other.
I'm not pretentious.
And quick what if, because I liked this one, so I'm just going to throw it in there. And she said, my mom and grandma have been arguing. Oh, this is Crystal Tweets 19. Have been arguing with me about this since it spilled out of my mouth 10 years ago. I think the show was great before Luke and Laura. I love L&L, but what if they weren't such a big deal? I love the Quartermains and the Webbers and just the scripts on the show, thanks to SoapNet. I was so into all the decades, but my interest fell once L&L entered the picture. And I said, oh, wow, that's a very interesting take. We seriously just finished recording the episode about the 411. And she said she loves them and they were beautiful, but they took over the show, not unlike how certain characters take over today. She said not like how certain, but I think she means not how unlike.
Right.
But there were other characters I wanted to see more of. And I asked, was there anyone specifically that you would have wanted a better, like what storyline would have gone?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I really don't know. I'll think about it. But I thought that was a really interesting.
I'm totally with her that they did take over the show, but if we wouldn't have brought Luke and Laura back, then we wouldn't have Lucky, and then the whole storyline with Liz and Lulu. As much as we love to hate her some days, we need her.
Right.
So
it is, but it's really interesting that she did that.
Yeah.
So I think that with that, we can share what we're going to be doing our Port Charles 411 about on Thursday. So we're going to talk about Luke and Laura's wedding.
Because it's their anniversary.
It would be their anniversary on Saturday. They would be celebrating 38 years. But the original idea that we had for the Port Charles 411 week that we alluded to last week.
Yay. Was Tony coming back?
Correct. We were going to do a background about Tony Jones because we've talked about how we hate spoilers, but it was kind of all over the place that he was coming back and there was no escaping it. However, we released on Thursday and we found out, I think it was Wednesday we found out, or no, it was sooner than that because that's why I did the what if.
That was one of the
the what if was the backup.
Yeah. Right. We had discussed if the dates weren't going to work out. Right. And they didn't. So we did what if. Because Tony didn't show up.
Because we were like, if he hasn't been on by Wednesday, we'll just do the what if episode and then we'll worry about it later. Sure enough, he wasn't on until Friday. Right. But so we didn't want to spoil it for anyone else who maybe didn't know that he was coming back.
Right.
So,
yeah. No, I think that's a wise decision. We have to do Luke and Laura just because it makes sense to do it this week.
It's and 2 days before their anniversary.
Like, we are there.
Yes.
And we can always go back to Tony.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. We can talk about him.
He was. So, and it was really difficult to find info on him anyway, so.
That makes me sad. He's been a character forever.
I know.
Break.
His General Hospital Wikipedia page is not It's like 4 paragraphs.
That's sad. He deserves so much more.
Yeah. So there's I found a new resource.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We'll get to that for the 411 later.
Totally get to that later. But all right, so back to this week. I think that we just wrapped up everything. So
yeah. Oh, they finally mentioned Maxie's birthday.
I know.
I was happy for you on Monday. I don't know that she got a proper celebration. I guess it wasn't a milestone birthday or anything. Yeah. They were just hanging out at Julian's place.
Do you think that Peter really lost the apartment, or do you think he was lying?
I think he was lying.
She's going to check with Lucy. She's going to be like, oh, so who got the apartment? And she's going to be like, what do you mean, Peter?
Is there not a confidentiality clause between your realtor and you?
Have you met Lucy?
But shouldn't there be? You're like my therapist. I don't need you to tell those people I decided not to buy the house because I don't want to be their neighbor.
True. Yes. So, but that's a sticky situation because they are together.
They're not married.
Trust me.
I mean, I understand Lucy probably will spill the beans because it's Lucy. But in normal life, if they're not married, none of your business.
So she could, in my situation and in my experience, the person whose name is on the financing is the person who I could talk to the spouse, you know, but let's say the mortgage is only going to be in the wife's name. Mm-hmm. I'll still talk to the husband. That's not a big deal, but I need her to verify that this is the decision.
Yeah.
You know, because
it's contingent on her signing that paper.
Right. But in the state of Pennsylvania, it's shared property if you're married. So there's that. Regardless of who's on the deed, or you're both on the deed, regardless of who's on the mortgage. But yeah, but Lucy would totally blab Maxie, I think. So
no, she totally will.
Should she? No.
Okay. I kind of
would she?
Well, Lucy would tell anybody anything,
right?
So
so Peter and Brad are both right on the cusp of telling the truth, they're halfway there, and then they lie again.
You knew Brad wasn't going to tell the truth because he can't tell the whole truth.
I really thought that he was going to, though. I thought that he was at least...
At Sunny's, you mean? When he was, spilling everything?
I didn't think he was going to go as far as Wiley, but I thought that he was going to spill everything about the Sasha thing. He has no reason to be lying about that.
I just think he's so accustomed to lying. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That he never feels like he can tell the truth. So he just lies about everything all the time.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to start telling the truth that might lead him down the path to telling the whole big truth. So let's just tell him the lie and hope that it diverts your attention. But he should also know that Lucas is over it. He's so over it.
Oh.
And now that he's spilled the beans about Julian trying to break them up, I see where Brad was coming from, because obviously you don't want to let your father-in-law ruin your marriage or whatever.
But you just hurt your husband.
Yeah. You just broke him in a whole different way. On top of all the lies that you're keeping, you're just a jerk. I'm sorry.
How about the scenes with him and Tony, though?
They were so sweet.
Please tell me you had slightly a heart and cried.
I did not.
Did you tear
up? Oh my gosh.
Did you at least get misty? Oh, come on. When he put his hand on Bobby.
I watched. No, the part with Bobby disturbed me. Him with Lucas, I intently watched. You know how we've talked about before. Sometimes it's just kind of in the background and you're kind of listening. Mm-hmm. As soon as Tony came on, I was like, I need to see this because I loved Tony. Yeah. So I watched it intently and I felt like, oh, that was so nice and sweet. And it was a great father-son moment. When he went to Bobby, though, I thought that was weird. I know that they became friends eventually, but they're divorced. And that was a missing my husband embrace, not a missing my baby daddy embrace, I felt like.
See, I thought it was also friendly. He was comforting her. Because at that point, she was talking to him about how much they needed him. And he was like, I'm here.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't. I'm sorry. I thought it was sweet.
You're allowed to think it's sweet. It's your opinion.
I got a really good screen grab. It's on our Instagram.
You're allowed to have whatever opinions you want. I just didn't feel like... I mean, it wasn't inappropriate. It wasn't over the top or whatever. I just didn't feel like it was 100% authentic. So
I loved it.
That was that.
I teared up.
You only teared up? You didn't cry?
I didn't bawl.
Well, that's good.
But I definitely teared up.
Jocelyn and Lucas talking about divorce was heart-wrenching. I was more likely to tear up there, I think. I didn't.
She doesn't call him uncle.
I don't know, because she doesn't.
Huh.
I mean,
my aunt's 4 years older than I am, so like I'll refer to her as my aunt, but she's just Erica to me.
yes, that's how I am with my nephew that's 2 weeks older than me. Yeah,
right.
if he called me Aunt Amanda, I would be like, what is wrong with you?
But I feel like he is a little bit, he's old enough.
He is old enough, but I don't know. Maybe because Carly and Lucas weren't really raised as brother sister. I know Jocelyn came in after all that drama had already settled down, but still maybe they just weren't pushed on each other like that. I don't know. But I thought,
or the fact that both of their ages have been messed up so much, maybe they're actually closer in age than they're.
They have no idea what they're supposed to be to each other, so it's just Lucas.
Yep.
No, but I thought it was really just sweet, and it felt like an authentic conversation that two kids with divorced parents would have about.
Right.
You wish things were different, and then you get a little older and realize sometimes things work out the way they're supposed to.
And just how, even how Lucas handled the hungoverness, how everyone handled.
I loved it. Except for I didn't understand when Jax was like, give me your phone, but then handed her a flip phone.
He took away her smartphone so she can't be on social media or anything. He gave her a flip phone so that she could basically just call them. The only thing that a phone's purpose should be.
But it was a Razr, so you could still text people.
I don't think it was a Razr.
I think it was a Razr.
He should have given her like the old school Nokia.
Exactly.
But I don't think it looks like my father-in-law's. Like my father-in-law can't text.
Oh, see, it looked to me like it was a Razr and a Razr text because it's one of the first cool phones to text on.
Right.
So why is he giving her? I understand she can't be on social media, and she even said something about she couldn't call an Uber because
she doesn't have the app.
Yep.
And she's under 18, but there's.
But we've already talked about that before. They don't follow.
Yep.
Maybe she didn't say Uber this time.
It doesn't matter. She still should.
You know what I mean. But yeah, she said something about not being able to.
I think it was just a basic flip phone with no capabilities other than.
I hope that's true. I assumed there was still texting.
Because I wrote, genius, take away the smartphone and give a flip phone. Like, why have I not thought about having just...
Oh, you don't have it? Oh, I have a track phone, but I totally do that.
I should totally do that.
I totally have a track phone for that exact
Maybe that's
reason.
what Jax has. Maybe Jax gave her a track phone.
I think you can text with track phones, though, too.
But texting's fine. So, but you also run out, don't you?
Yeah, if you haven't put enough minutes on. I guess, depending on how he did it. Maybe we're overthinking it. I was picturing... When you're grounded, you don't get to talk to your friends. You're cut completely. Mm-hmm. And they said about the computer being downstairs for homework time and all that. But if you're handing her a phone that can still text, then she's going to keep talking to her friends.
Yeah.
But if it was strictly call-only capabilities, then good job, Jax.
Super smart.
Yes. I am not quite that smart because the track phone you can text. But they only get it like, you're going to bowling. Here's your phone for the next 2 hours.
Right.
And especially with bowling, they're not allowed on their phone during bowling.
Right.
So you can only call me to say, come
pick
get
me.
Me.
Yep.
And, maybe text your friends for the 10 minutes it takes me to get to you.
Yep.
So
I did think it was interesting she was only grounded for 2 weeks. I used to get grounded for 2 weeks for coming home late from work.
Okay, no disrespect, but your parents are weird.
Okay.
Because it's not assuming you mean coming home late from work because you were held at work late or traffic was bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's not your fault.
Oh, no. If I got stuck, like, cleaning or something,
But they can check your timesheet and see that you were there the extra... Okay. Mm-hmm. Again, no disrespect to your parents, but that was wrong. They owe you some ungrounding.
I used to... No, but, like, I used to get grounded for the dumbest things for 2 weeks.
Oh, see, I never got grounded. I think I got grounded once for a week because I, like, really went off on my mom. Like, went off, total disrespect. And so I was grounded for the week because I just crossed lines that if it was my kid, I would have smacked me, but she didn't. So, but yeah, a week, that was it. But again, I was the baby and you were not.
That's true.
So there's a difference for most families.
I did say that Jax and Carly are as crazy as I am when it comes to punishment. Like they're going to take the lock off the door and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I get that creative. It's like, no. We're going to make sure that we got all bases covered on this.
Since drinking is such a big deal, especially I hadn't even thought about her and the kidney transplant.
Neither had I.
Until they brought that up this week. I would go that far to push my point, but that's a lot of effort. Depending on what you're grounding them for, that's a lot of effort to take a door off the hinges.
They also do have people that can help. Oh, no. That takes like 2 seconds to take off. You just... take out the pegs and it's done. We've done it to my daughter's room when she would slam it too much. We took off her door. But I think they said that they were just taking the lock off.
The lock off.
Well, none of my just a couple screws.
Luckily, none of my doors have locks because my house is older, so it's just the like glass pretty handle is what is on all of the doors, so no one can lock me anywhere. Oh, Madeline's here. She's chiming in. What can lock? What door can lock? None of them. Exactly. You just got corrected. So yeah.
But speaking of phones, it was Julian's phone that he gave to.
And that could that have been a throwaway? I guess it
because that I put as maybe it was a throwaway.
It had to be a throwaway because Julian's not that stupid.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have thought he would have been that stupid to let Brad record him either. What the heck?
Yeah, I think he just didn't realize it.
I'm disappointed with that.
Yeah,
totally disappointed. He should have been smarter. That's crazy. Someone who's been as shady as he has would think of that or should have thought of that. How about Robert's reaction to Violet?
That's so cute. He's like so cute.
He was pretty slick with that. Oh, I bet you wish you had a puppy too. Like, what kind of trouble are you trying to start there, Robert?
Right, he's trying to get her. Well, I think he really doesn't like Hayden.
Oh yeah, because you can tell.
Just a bit.
You can tell that she is not just in it for Violet.
So on Twitter, Deborah at CarolinaGal2976. I love you, Robert, but you need to back off Finn. He didn't know about Violet. And I said I was so worried when he started grilling him about if Anna knew. Feels like he backed off a bit once he found out that Finn just also found out.
Right.
And he really did. Hoping there will be some compassion there. They have a really weird bromance happening. And then Lindsay said, Finn and Robert bromance? Robert very recently told Finn he only tolerates him because of Anna. And then Jen M said, I think he likes Finn a lot more than he lets on. He knows Finn is good for Anna, but Robert also has a blind spot with Anna. If he thinks Finn is going to break her heart, then he's going to have an opinion. Anna would be mortified. Kat said, I also think that Robert knows that Anna doesn't always believe that she deserves happiness and doesn't want Finn to give any validity to those nagging doubts that Anna has.
Aw, that was a good insight there.
That was. Although I love Fana, this is why I've always been an RNA fan and will never be disappointed if they are endgame. And I said, I think that was just Robert establishing boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, because he keeps Finn in check. But he does play with him. I mean.
He has to. That's Robert's personality.
I said, we think that Robert actually does like him, but doesn't want to admit it. They've had some very interesting but odd moments of bonding. And Lindsay said again, I thought they used to, but it seems things started to go downhill when Robert kept the ring too long. And Jen just said, yeah, that didn't help things much.
Yeah.
But that was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
What do you think about all that?
No, they definitely have a bromance. I mean, we've talked about it 100,000 times. I think that he is just trying to protect Anna. Their relationship was so good back in the day whenever it started. And they were one of those couples that couldn't be together but truly still care about each other. And you can see that in their interactions all the time. So I feel like Anna would be the same way if suddenly Robert had some new love interest and was getting serious. So.
But then Michelle Liebman-Fair said he did the exact same thing to Holly about Robin.
Oh, see?
So is Robert now speaking from experience? Saying, listen, man, this is not a good idea.
I thought that's where he was going to go when as soon as he met her, you could kind of see him be like, oh, I know whose kid that is.
Look at those eyes.
Exactly.
They're not you.
So when he had that first minute alone with Finn, I was like, he's going to totally be like, oh, you have a kid you didn't know about? I had one of those too.
Right.
And give him some knowledge and advice on how to deal with that.
But so I guess we'll see.
I don't know how old Robin was.
Robin was about 5 or 6, I think.
Was she? Okay.
I think. She was, because she introduced herself
5.
to him.
Yeah.
She's like, hi, I'm Robin.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Little tiny Robin with the poofy curly hair and the little halfway up ponytail.
Yeah.
80s.
She's adorable.
So I thought that was a really good. I don't know. I see a bonding with them, even though it's a difficult situation. And I think that Robert was right that he really does need to tell her, as soon as possible. Because, like you said, you don't know when you're going to see her next.
Right. And he should be talking to Anna if they're truly planning on having a life together. Mm-hmm. As Hayden has all these questions about how is this going to work? What are we going to do? Blah, blah, blah. He should be having those conversations with Anna, too. Like, how do you see this playing out? Mm-hmm. Not that she should dictate everything, obviously. I don't think she should ever be nasty about it just because she loves kids and she loves him. So she wants what's best for him. But, do we want to be every other weekend parents? Do we want to be...
She's totally going to go off on Hayden.
Like, oh, she's going to
tear her new one.
That is going to be a great fight.
But at the same time, does she really have a leg to stand on? Because she did the same thing with...
But she's older now, and she's learned. I feel like she gets to use her experience.
Well, and her line of work has been difficult.
Right.
It wasn't her nature to be manipulative and calculating and all that.
Yes.
So do you think that Hayden found out that Nicholas was alive and then that's why she really left because she realized that she couldn't marry Finn because Nicholas is really alive?
I don't think she's that nice.
Also, of anyone, she could have told Finn, hey, listen, Nicholas is alive. I got to go handle this.
I'll be back.
Right.
And he would have totally supported that.
Mm-hmm. And wouldn't have told anyone except for Roxy.
Right. And no matter what her excuse was for leaving, that doesn't excuse the behavior with keeping his kid from him.
Mm-mm.
There's no... Even if she actually wanted to be with Nicholas, which I know she doesn't, but even if she actually wanted to be with Nicholas, that still doesn't give you the right to keep his kid from him. Mm-hmm. So that was all crap.
So what's going on there, though, with the Hayden, Jax, Nicholas, Cassandra thing?
First of all, Nicholas is stupid. Who didn't see the fact that Cassandra was going to escape coming? First of all, if I don't trust you because you've broken all kinds of promises to me, I'm not going to let you sit behind me in a van while I'm driving because you're going to choke me.
While she does, he didn't restrain her in any way. Yeah.
Go back there and change. I'm going to drive. As we're driving, I'm going to tell you how much I don't trust you and how much I don't want you around.
Right.
And I'm not going to think that either A, you're going to smack me over the head with something, B, you're going to choke me from behind, or C, you're going to jump out the back of the car.
Right.
Those were the only choices.
I know that Tyler Christopher could get nasty, and he had a temper on him. He did good. But this Nicholas is scary.
Yeah.
Like the creeping out under the bed, spooking Ava thing.
Right.
Oh, I could not see Tyler Christopher doing that.
No.
This guy? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marcus Coloma, right? We have to keep saying his name so we remember
so that we remember it. Yeah. He is. He's scary. He's playing it well. I'm not saying that it's wrong or whatever, but just the way they wrote that particular part of the story, that was stupid because, again, anyone would have seen that coming. And Nicholas isn't that dumb.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that there's something going on.
There is. I mean, it's going to be a good storyline once we have a little bit more clues. Right now, it's still like, what? I don't get the connection. But
there's little bits and pieces everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be... I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what happens. And
yes. Don't like that they're involving kids in it, though. Poor Charlotte. She looked terrified on Friday. She looked terrified. That's not fair. Don't use kids.
You're traumatizing her.
Yeah. And why the heck has Lulu not done this?
I hate you picked up on my sigh.
I hate to bash Lulu yet again, but
it was Lulu and Maxie.
But Maxie was facing the door.
Right, Lulu but they're having the dumbest conversation.
They are. Lulu is facing her daughter, as she should be, and grown-ups do it. I mean, I've done it a million times. Mommy and her friend are going to sit here, you sit over here, because you don't need to be part of the adult conversation.
But you have crazy
do your
peripherals
homework,
on.
Like color, whatever. But the second that a new person even enters the space that you're in, you're like, whoosh, what are they doing? Okay, they're not going by my kid? Cool, fine. So for some woman to just walk up and start talking to my kid, I'd have been out of my seat having that woman pinned down before she even got to say 3 words to my kid.
And who's working the counter? Did they not see Charlotte's reaction and was like, hey, you, you might want to...
Like,
your kid
was ready to scream, and that woman told her not to, and then started threatening her. You might want to get up and not continue your conversation about kissing your boyfriend at a high school dance.
While two teens got drunk.
Right. Ridiculous.
They are not to blame for them getting drunk, but they
were not chaperoning properly.
Nope.
Not at all.
Not at all. I did like that Liesl walked around and asked basically for forgiveness from everyone.
Yes.
That was so sweet. I love her.
Oh, talking about good girl fights, Liz and Kim. That was so good.
Uh-huh.
I like when Liz gets fired up like that.
I did like how Liz once again said that even though he appears to be true,
yep, that's my husband.
He's still married to me. And I said, just like Jason was still married to Sam when you were sleeping with him as Jake.
We don't have to mention that. I was pro Elizabeth for a minute. Quit bringing up her past. I loved how she said that.
But I mean, it is exact.
Oh, I know. I know. But I like when she gets fired up like that. The divorce papers are not signed yet. You are sleeping with my husband. And Kim couldn't say anything except for, thanks for being my friend whenever my kid died. That is not anything to do with anything right now, except for the fact that you should have even more respect for her and stay away from her man.
But we also did not talk about it a couple weeks ago when Liz threw in her face about Oscar dying. She did quickly apologize. Right. However,
that was uncalled for.
Right. So uncalled for.
Yes. No, I agree. That was wrong.
So speaking of husbands.
Okay. Where are we going? Now I'm confused. Oh, now! Who the heck's her husband?
Shiloh.
Oh.
You want to bet?
Oh.
Because remember they met in...
Yes.
And now he's gone. And she's going to come into a lot of money because...
of Daisy's stupidity.
What does he own?
Oh, the ELQ stuff.
That has not been taken care of from Oscar's will.
Thank you for connecting those dots for me because, again, so I binge watched. I was away all weekend, so I binge watched 4 episodes today. And when she started talking, I was like, "You're in jail. Who is your husband?"
Second she said she was going to get a ton of money, I was like, Shiloh. She totally married Shiloh. It has to be, right?
It does. It absolutely has to be. Yeah. You're a genius. I didn't get there. Good job. Thanks for filling me in because, yeah, I really was like, who? Huh? What? So,
yes. The only other 2 things that I have is Graciela is the nanny. Finally remembered the name.
Good job.
And I loved when Ava said, I may not be crazy, or I may be crazy, but I'm not crazy.
Yes, because we say that all the time.
Because it's true. She's like, I may be crazy.
I'm crazy.
But I'm not crazy.
But I'm not crazy. I do. We should have that printed on the shirt. I say that all the time.
And just quick side note. First of all, how did Jason get there so quickly? I don't think you're just allowed to drop by and say hey to your girlfriend when she's on prison work detail.
Right. And it was bad enough she already had 1 visitor. Why is she having multiple visitors? This isn't social hour.
Right.
That's
Curtis
ridiculous.
is slightly explanatory because he is married to the commissioner. He's working on official police business.
And he could have actually, I know it was planned, but he could have actually just happened to be in the park at that time.
Right.
Jason was not. I was disappointed with Chase, though, when he got all crappy with Sam.
Yeah.
Did you think about escaping? Shut up! She made sure that Cassandra didn't grab the gun. You're being a jerk for no reason. I didn't like that. I was not happy with
I think he wasn't buying it, though. I think he wasn't buying it because Jason was there.
Well, right. Well, I'm with him with that. I don't understand how that happened.
He's like,
but
I'm sorry, there was no point to him being there.
There wasn't.
Why was he there?
I don't know.
Hey, Sam, the kids are good.
Right. Keep the kids away from the park. Like, is it a standing thing that every such and such day and time I take the kids to this park?
He's not even seeing the kids.
Exactly. He said he's going to have them this weekend.
Yay.
That frustrates me. He should be a better dad than that. So, Alexis, what do we think is in that thing? That rat was dead.
Yeah.
I like jumped when Julia jumped.
Yeah.
Because that rat was dead.
So the stuff that she's taking is Bella Giornata, and it means beautiful day.
Oh, okay.
But I think Finn's going to figure out.
Do you?
The second, when she said the name, he looked like, wait, what? So maybe he's familiar with it. Because, I mean, there's supplements that aren't legal in the US that are legal in
I
other.
think that Kendra's 100% adding something
Oh,
to
she
that.
totally is.
100%. So I think he may figure out that it's coming from the supplement, but he needs more information. I wanted Julian to open it up because there was all those bags piled on top. I wanted him to open it and see that and make a connection, but it stopped dead of that. So I'm hoping that that's next week.
Open up what? The garbage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the wrap for a second.
Oh, no. I wanted him to be like annoyed that people just threw trash on top of the dumpster, take those bags off and open the dumpster, and when he does, see that powder in there and be like, oh,
that
Kendra
was
the hanging most out back annoying. Here. Well, yeah, I want to know what her plan is with him because she's like, here, I'll give you my number, blah, blah, blah. Why are you cozying up to him? What are you doing? And she's totally going to frame him, and that's not okay.
And don't tell Alexis that I'm here.
Right.
Because your food's so good and it's off my diet plan.
No. And Julian has been so good to Alexis. Do not frame him. He would not kill her or hurt her. He wouldn't. Not now. Not now.
So the look I'm giving Amanda is like, do we remember the knife
to your throat? That is exactly what your looks like. Knife to throat. Yes, I know, but I was talking about back then, not today. Today's Julian would not kill her. And certainly not with supplements. It should take a knife to throat. So, yeah. I'm interested to see how that's going to loop about. I don't really like Kendra, like we talked about before. What's the point of her coming back for revenge now? But now I'm interested to see how it's all going to play out.
And that is a very popular opinion on social media as well. And I don't have anything directly to talk about with that, but
okay.
Yeah, it was very...
I was off social media all weekend.
Good for you.
I was not. A couple of checks of Facebook here and there, but not reading any extras. So
one quick last tweet. Alan Serapa. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I've already accepted Marcus Coloma as Nicholas. I know that probably doesn't mean a lot as Soap Twitter's most pro recast person, but he checks all my boxes. Can act, hot, doesn't have a punchable face, and looks like he wants to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to be okay with him. I liked that chemistry that you could feel between him and Laura when they were both at the door. I felt like you could honestly feel that she felt that he was on the other side. There was good, there was a good connection there. So hopefully they'll fix the mother-son bond when they get to meet.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I posted a picture today on Instagram showing Stavros, Marcus Coloma, and Spencer. So the new Nicholas and Spencer. He follows more genetically than Tyler Christopher did.
Yeah.
So good job on the recast.
Right.
I mean, really, really good. And last shout out on Instagram, GHMEA1. We were just private messaging a little bit, and she said, yes, she's a big fan, and she found our podcast a while ago, and she enjoys it, and I just thanked her for being a listener. Yay. And she said, thanks so much for doing it. And I was like, it is totally our pleasure, because we have so much fun doing this.
It is so much fun. Yep. I'm glad that people like us, though. Yay.
Thank you. You like us. You really like us. All right, so...
Reality check. I went first last week. It's your turn to go
Yours
first.
Is more fun.
But it's your turn.
Okay. So for those new to the show, we end the segment each week on Monday with a little reality check because people believe that soap opera fans are delusional. We like to prove them wrong.
I might be crazy, but I'm not crazy. That's what the segment should be called.
It's going to be. Yep. So I do want to give one quick, I guess it's like a shout out reality check to Monique Madrid. I'm in a couple podcasting groups on Facebook, and some of us checked out each other's podcasts this week, and she gave us some really good feedback and everything. And she said that the 2 episodes that she listened to made her want to listen to or watch the show again. Like it's been like 20 years since she.
Yes.
So her podcast is Badass Besties.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's a really good show. So I would definitely recommend finding it. It's, spelled out the way that you think it is.
Okay.
BADASS, Besties, BESTIES. And so it's her and her girlfriend having some good chats about very topical, like the couple that I listened to, there was one about a book that basically was written explaining guys.
Oh, okay.
And another one was about pettiness at work, like a pettiness in the workplace. So they found an article and like kind of dissected it and talked about it, and it was really good. So they're on my subscription list on Stitcher. So, but other than that, for my reality check, what did I do this week? I had an amazing massage on Friday. I have a really good massage therapist that I found in the area. She does a 90-minute massage and facial for $60.
Wow.
And it's the best that I've ever had. And she does it in her house. And she has like her own stuff set up. And she pampers you. You get these warm booties.
Aww.
Mm-hmm. So it's really good. So I think I don't know. I didn't really have a lot going on this week. So.
You didn't have a lot going on? I find that very hard to believe. You're constantly doing something.
Well, so Thursday, I was supposed to be part of the Disability and Mental Health Summit planning meeting. And I wasn't necessarily running late, but just as I was about 15 minutes away, I realized that I forgot my medicine. And I had to run down my entire day to go, okay, if I can swing by home at this time to get it, I can at least still take it before it's too late. But it was my first day of a change. So I was like, shoot, I'm like, I can't not take it.
Right.
So I wound up turning around and coming home to take it because there was the only other time I was going to be home to take it was going to be way too late in the day for me to take it. So, but I guess my med change is going well.
That's good.
So I like what I did. So yay for that.
Yay.
But I missed something really important to me, so that was kind of a bummer. But I'm still part of it, so.
Right. They need you.
I'll be on a subcommittee.
So.
I've already signed up for it.
Oh, well, there you go. Of course you did. Of course you did.
But, yeah. All in all, it's just a good week. Typical week. What about you?
Mine was not a typical week.
I know.
Awesome. I was gone Thursday through Sunday for a girls' weekend in Deep Creek, which is why you may have heard my little one's voice in the background here and there today because she missed me.
Aww.
And she spent the weekend at her dad's house and I guess even had trouble going to sleep last night because she missed me so much, which obviously I'm sad that she was sad, but happy that she still misses me because the older kids were like, yeah, bye, see ya, hope you had fun.
Right.
And that's about it. So
peace out.
Yeah, it's nice to still have the miss me. But yeah, it was great. It's just totally chill. 15 women total. Rent this big, beautiful house that you could never afford in real life, right on the lake. Has a hot tub, tons of yummy food, bunch of adult beverages, games. We did an escape room. We went bowling. We watched some Hallmark Christmas movies. We do a gift exchange.
Well, that sounds nice.
And just total me time. If you want to interact with people, there's like always a game going or something. If you just want to hide away in your room and read a book or take a nap, that's fine too. It's just whatever you want. No pressure.
Nice.
So
very nice.
That's what I did. A little bit of adult beveraging, a lot of napping the following day.
Hey.
And then back into playing games and hanging out the other days and whatever.
That's awesome.
So it is. This was my fourth year going, and I needed it. This year's been kind of rough, so it was a good. Just let it all out.
Good.
So
good.
Yeah, nice and refreshed, sliding into the holidays.
Awesome.
So
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So on Thursday, we're going to talk about Luke and Laura's wedding.
I'm excited to get into that.
And there's a couple posts on Instagram and Twitter asking if you were around back then.
Right. I hope we get
what were you doing? We've had some good.
Okay, good. I was
what they were doing.
I hope we get some good answers because that was 1981. So you weren't even born, and I was a year old.
Yep.
So
we weren't watching it. And now you know our ages.
It was probably running in the background at my house as I was walking around at 1 year old, but I wasn't watching. So I would like to, obviously I've seen it since then, but I would like to hear what people were thinking and doing and whatever back when it actually happened.
Yep. So I guess until Thursday,
have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.